So I've still got this oval of Marklin vintage 3-rail track set up from a train set I was reviewing in the last video. And I've left it set up because we've got another Marklin vintage locomotive to have a look at, and it's this one here, the Schnellzug Locomotive, and this is number 3048 in the Marklin range. It's in one of their blue boxes with this fantastic artwork on the box, and it dates from around about the late 1960s, maybe early 70s, something like that. I'm hoping it's still going to work on this track, and we're going to give it a go in this review. So let's get this open and we'll check it out. Well, what a fantastic model this is. It's super heavy as well. The drive is obviously in the locomotive and the tender is a lot lighter by comparison. It does look fully intact that it's lasted all this length of time. Let's have a closer look at it. So this is a really heavy model, but it's got loads of detail to it as well. Lots of character at the front. It looks as though it's got lights. It's got these little markers here made in metal wire. They're connected together and they wobble about a bit. We've got very strong buffers as well, all made of metal. And the moulding here has a lot of detail down the side of the boiler. We've even got this little metal handrail added in as well as a piece of wire with these little metal hoops. And we've got this red line running the whole length of the locomotive here and down these steps and along underneath the cab. Some nice printing here as well, the 01097 number. It is a bit chipped off there over age, unfortunately. We've even got a metal handrail added on, extra piece here and across underneath the windows at the side of the cab. We've even got glazing there as well, not flush fit. Not much to look at inside the cab because it's got the huge big motor in there. And the valve gear does look a bit crude by today's standards, but does have these lovely red inserts which have been done really well. It's a very complicated valve gear as well. And the wheels look really good as well. A bit coarse by today's standards with the flanges. They are all metal, including the red inserts. And we have metal pony trucks at each end. At the back it says Marklin made in Western Germany. And we've got, of course, the Marklin 3-rail skid here. So a fantastic looking locomotive. Let's have a look at the tender. And by contrast, this is quite light. It's made in plastic, but it's got a really good representation of coal at the top here. Some modern manufacturers could take a few notes about how good it was back in the day. We've got handrails picked out in silver, but not made of metal. We do have these little pieces here which actually move a little bit as well. It's quite cool. And the bogies are just plastic. They've got some rivet details, springs and stuff, but they're not a great moulding. And the wheels are made of metal and they've got nice spokes on them, fairly free running. And they're sitting inside little pressed metal shoes there. We've got a metal coupler here and a metal coupler on the back, which is cantilever independent of the truck as well. Metal buffers at the back, and we've got some lights picked out there in silver, not illuminated on the tender, and a number up here as well which matches to the locomotive. So decent enough moulding with quite a bit of dust on there. I guess maybe we should put this on the track, seeing I've got it set up, and we'll see if it runs. So you probably have noticed I had to take off the rear truck in order to be able to get this to go round the tight corners. I guess it's just not designed for the corners on this little piece of track that I've got, but it still runs as well. It did need a little bit of oil there. Once I gave it that oil, no problems at all. It just started going as well. Anyway, I'm just going to take the body off this and we can have a look at the mechanism. So it's quite an extensive mechanism we've got in here. We do actually have provision for lights. There should be a bulb sitting in here, but it's obviously missing. We've got this which switches direction, and then we've got the motor at the back, and it drives all 3 axles on the main drive there. It's a very heavy chassis, this one. It's all made of metal, and all the other parts are made of metal too. And also the body is made of metal as well. And it also looks as though it might have a smoke generator in the chimney there as well. There's obviously some slight differences on this side of the boiler that I didn't mention before. It's got this other piece of metal here as the reversing rod. And I thought these wind deflectors were made of plastic, but they're actually made of metal as well. So this is almost complete metal construction for this model, which is quite incredible. Anyway, let me get this back together and then we'll put it on the scales and we'll see how much it weighs. So altogether this model weighs 697 grams. So what an incredible vintage model this is from Marklin. The locomotive is all made of metal. Okay, the tender is made of plastic, but what a quality item this is. It's got some great features on it. I mean, it's got lighting. It looks as though it's got a smoke generator. It's got the metal handrails, some good printing, and the colour's great as well. It's really a fantastic model, and I think it even stacks up by some of the models that you can get today. Considering this one is around about 60 years old, it's quite incredible, and it still runs as well. What a fantastic model, a great collector's piece. I'd totally recommend this if you are interested in these kind of models. But that's just what I think. What do you think about this old vintage locomotive? Let me know in the comments below, I'd love to know your thoughts. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, it really helps this channel. Now I'm going to keep this 3-rail track up because I've got another vintage Marklin 3-rail locomotive to have a look at. It's coming up in the next video, so subscribe to see that. In the meantime, I'll put this on the turntable so you can see all the way around. Thanks for watching, see ya!